Has Blake Lively made allegations of sexual harassment against past employees or coworkers? And the answer is yes. She has made allegations about sexual harassment against a makeup artist, and it hasn't been confirmed on the set of what. However, if you look back and you look at the timeline, it seems to be on the set of Gossip Girl. Now, before we get into that, I just want to say hello. My name is Ashley Brianna Eve, and on this channel, we dissect the must-know, juicy pop culture breaking news, typically through the lens of astrology and tarot. However, there'll be videos like this where astrology and tarot are not included. However, if you are a fan of astrology, make sure to like and subscribe the channel because I am recording a video for you guys breaking down why are we obsessed with this in 2025? What is going on where we are even more captivated by the celebrity downfalls and gossip? I'm going to break that down for you. The astrology set the stage for this in 2025. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and stick around. But I just want to give you the heads up. It's not just pop culture news and updates. We also do tarot and astrology here as well. All right, let's dive into this, guys. I have this article up from The Cut. This is October 13th, 2017. Blake Lively says she was sexually harassed by a makeup artist. As allegations of sexual assault continue to pile up against powerful film producer Harvey Weinstein, more women are coming forward with their own stories of harassment in the hands of other men in and outside of Hollywood. Now, one of the things I want to say about this and what I think was dangerous about the Me Too movement, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad I'm not a boy mom. I'm glad I don't have boys because I think what happened is we went so far in the other direction and believe all women where everything was viewed as nefarious and everything was viewed as HSH and everything was viewed as like take men down. So I think there was actually a dark side to the Me Too movement. And this was the first thing that really kind of spurred that thought within my head. I thought, interesting. So this came out during the Me Too movement, and that's when she had made the allegations. So it was the Me Too movement, and it says the latest star to open up about her experience is Blake Lively, who told the Los Angeles Times that she had been regularly harassed by a makeup artist with whom she once worked. She says, he was saying things inappropriately, insisting on putting my lipstick on with his finger, the former Gossip Girl star told the Times. I was sleeping one night on location and I woke up and he was filming me. I was clothed, but it was very voyeuristic, terrifying thing to do. Now, let me just say, if someone was filming me while I was sleeping, I would wake up guns blazing and they would probably have a black eye to prove that they did that. I mean, I know not everyone has that kind of reaction. I would have definitely swung for someone's face if I woke up and they were filming me. With that said, I want to make sure that's clear. I am not saying she is lying here. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's very interesting. Now, it's a double-edged sword, right? The Me Too movement allowed a lot of women to feel safe to speak up. The Me Too movement allowed a lot of women to feel like they could finally have a voice and people would finally believe them. It was also a time where a lot of men received false allegations that completely destroyed their lives and careers because people were just coming out and weaponizing feminism, weaponizing the movement. And we did kind of see that from Blake Lively, right? We saw that in the lawsuit where it looked like she was saying, I wrote this scene and no one hears me because I'm a woman basically, and no one takes me seriously. And so I have to write the script out on these pieces of paper and no one gives me credit. And it turned out she didn't even write the scene, that Ryan wrote the scene. So to me, I do kind of raise an eyebrow, and I'm sorry, I do kind of raise an eyebrow at someone that is jumping on the Me Too movement who also weaponized feminism against a feminist. Justin Baldoni is very clearly a feminist. He has man enough as, one of his brand slogans. They even made fun of him for being a feminist in Nice Pool. Like, he is a feminist. And they weaponized it again intentionally. And I believe if you watch my video on the Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively playbook, I'm going to be breaking this down more for you. Don't worry, my friends. I am working on it. I was taken out by the flu the last couple of days, so I'm behind on it, but I am mapping it out for you guys. I believe they have a very specific playbook, the two of them, to take over franchises in the beginning phases where there's not a lot of funding and backing for them, where it's like the baby phase, if you will. They take over, they seep through it like a fungus or a disease, and then they take over and then make it their own and make billions of dollars off of it, like Ryan did with Deadpool. It's a playbook. They've got the policy, they've got the procedures, they've got the code of conduct, they've got it down, the two of them. And I just feel as though part of that like dagger into Justin or twisting his arms was like the feminist angle. And so we have seen her weaponize feminism. And unfortunately, so I've worked in shelters. I was a counselor previously. I've worked in women's shelters. I have helped women and girls running from bad situations in the middle of the night with their babies. I've held their babies while they take a shower. I've worked in this field extensively. And the sad thing is if, when we look at like the little boy that cried wolf, for example, when you start to do things out of integrity or make things up, people don't believe you anymore. And it just, when I see this and I learn about previous sexual harassment claims against a makeup artist, and I see that she weaponized feminism against Justin Baldoni, seeing it as his Achilles heel, it just makes me raise an eyebrow. And I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments. Let's all be civil. Let me know in the comments. And if you look at my previous content, I was on her side in the beginning. So when we first started covering this on the channel, I did her human design reading and natal chart reading. And I said, guys, like she's just got difficult energy, back off. And it was once everything started coming out where I thought, ooh, I don't know. So she says he was putting lipstick on with his finger. I mean, I suppose, and we're going to look at, I pulled up a what is harassment document from the United Nations. You know, different countries, different places can have different definitions. I just pulled up one. We're going to look at it. So I guess in theory, yes, if she told him not to touch her, I don't know. I prefer putting makeup on with my fingers, but also that's her right to say no, right? So if he kept putting it on and she kept saying no, and then the videoing at night, if that's true, is awful. Lively said she complained about the behavior to the project's producers for months, but that no action was taken. When they eventually called her into a meeting and said, we need to talk, she thought they were finally going to address the harassment, but instead, she claims they told her, your dog left a poop behind the toilet in your dressing room and your janitor had to pick it up. And this is very serious and we can't have this happen again. This is something else I want to talk about. It was clear on the set of It Ends With Us that Blake Lively wasn't getting along with certain people on set and she had people fired. I would hate, and again, it's that little boy that cried wolf. I don't even like that I'm thinking this. And it like pains me to even say it. Is it possible that allegations are also being made against people she just doesn't like? I don't know. People that say no to her, people that maybe she doesn't jive with. Is it possible that she's making allegations against people she doesn't like to get them fired? I'm asking you guys. Let me know in the comments. Be kind in the comments. Because like I said, I don't even like that I'm saying this. I would hope no one would do this. But it's hard to ignore. Like I said, when you start to see the connections between how her and Ryan Reynolds, it's hard to ignore once you see the connections. She had a lot of people fired on It Ends With Us. And when you look at the text messages between, I can't remember who was talking in the text messages, but they were saying like, you know, it seems like she's not getting along with so-and-so. And then that person ended up being fired. I don't know. It reportedly wasn't until Lively went to a lawyer that the producers fired the makeup artist. And then, even then, she told The Times, our unit production manager wrote him a letter of recommendation because nobody wanted there to be bad blood. Earlier this week, Lively spoke out about the allegations against Harvey Weinstein, telling The Hollywood Reporter, that was never my experience with Harvey in any way whatsoever. And I think that if people heard these stories, ... I do believe in humanity enough to think that this wouldn't have just continued. I never heard any stories like this. I never heard anything specific, but it's devastating to hear. And this is what didn't sit well with me either. if I'm being honest, is she wants to be believed. But I don't know about you guys. Again, let me know. It feels like she doesn't really believe it. Do y'all get that feeling? Like, it wasn't my experience with Harvey. And I think that if people heard these things, ... I do believe in humanity enough to think that this wouldn't have just continued. What are your thoughts on this? I want to hear your thoughts. And let's actually look at this. This article says Blake Lively on Harvey Weinstein claims it's devastating to hear. Isn't Leslie Sloan? Didn't she work with Harvey Weinstein? Might not be that devastating to hear. I don't know. The actress says sexual harassment and abuse isn't unique to Hollywood. As important as it is to remain furious about this, it's important to also say that this exists everywhere. So remember to look everywhere, she says. Blake Lively tells The Hollywood Reporter how important it is that society is now listening to women. During a scheduled interview Tuesday to discuss her new film, the Mark Foster-directed All I See Is You at the Four Seasons Los Angeles and Beverly Hills, Lively agreed to discuss the Weinstein scandal. While she says that she did not hear any rumors regarding his alleged patterns of misconduct, she hopes people know that the story isn't unique to Hollywood. And that seems like very deflecting as well. If you're asked about a specific issue, such as Harvey Weinstein and the impact on women in Hollywood, and you deflect to say, but it's not just Hollywood that this is a problem in, it's just, again, it's like just these little things that add up over time that just make me kind of raise an eyebrow. And in and of themselves, they're not horrific, but it just makes me raise an eyebrow. She says, that was never my experience with Harvey in any way whatsoever. And I think if people heard these stories, see, this is why I wanted to come to the Hollywood Reporter, because I wanted to see if the ... was there. And I'm saying ... because I also uploaded this to the podcast, because the previous article in the cut it out, or if she really did pause. I do believe in humanity enough to think that this wouldn't have continued. I never heard any stories like this. I never heard anything specific, but it's devastating to hear. Lively has known Weinstein for some time. The two joined then First Lady Michelle Obama on a panel workshop for high school students about careers in the film business that was held in the White House on November 8th, 2013. Also on the panel were directors David Frankel and Ryan Coogler. It lists a bunch of people. Lively also noted how crucial it is to listen. The number one thing that can happen is that people who share their stories, people have to listen to them and trust them, and people have to take it seriously. All women. And as important as it is to remain furious about this, it's important to also say that this exists everywhere. So remember to look everywhere. This isn't a single incident. This cannot happen. This should not happen. It happens in every single industry. It happens so often, Lively said, that women sometimes aren't able to process the severity of the situation. She says it happens to women all over the place, all the time, to the point where women don't even think that this is a real assault. I agree. I actually do agree with that 100%. And I also don't agree with the other extreme where everything is nefarious and everything is an assault and everything means that you have to take someone down and ruin their lives. So I do agree with her. And I think this is also a very dangerous slope, this believe all women. And, oh, well, women are finally waking up to what this quote unquote real assault is. But I don't know, putting your makeup artist putting lipstick on with their finger instead of a brush assault? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Y'all, I'm trying. I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to be on her side, and I want to believe her. And so she says, I've had plenty of things happen to me, whether it be on a dress. What? So, okay, wait, we got to back up. I've got to slow down. I've had plenty of things happen to me, whether it be trying on a dress for prom at some clothing store, to a director being inappropriate, to a guy walking down the street where you don't think, oh, well, that wasn't actually sexual assault. This guy just like grabbed my butt. So she's now categorizing things such as trying on a dress for prom. I'm sure directors are inappropriate. I am not disputing that. To a guy walking down the street where you don't think, oh, well, wasn't actually sexual assault. This guy like grabbed my butt. And I'm not saying someone should grab your butt walking down the street. Please don't take it as that. That's what I'm saying. It just seems like we're swinging a little bit to the other side, right? Catcalls are listed as, believe it or not, sexual harassment under the United Nations. I want to hear what you guys think about all this, honestly. She continues, it's important that women are furious right now. It's important that there is an uprising. It's important that we don't stand for this and that we don't focus on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 stories. It's important that we focus on humanity in general and say this is unacceptable. All right. What do you guys think about that? Let's now pull up the definition of sexual harassment from the United Nations and just have a quick peek. Why don't we? All right. So this is the United Nations. What is sexual harassment? And it says in its guideline as unwanted advances, requests for favors. I'm going to leave some words out that hopefully don't completely destroy this video in the algorithm, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature. When submission to such conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of an individual's employment, or submission to or rejection of such conduct by an individual is used as a basis for employment decisions affecting such individuals, or such conduct has a purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. Unwelcome behavior is a critical word. Unwelcome does not mean involuntary. A victim may consent or agree to certain conduct and actively participate in it, even though it is offensive or objectionable. All right, so includes many things: actual or attempted rape, unwanted pressure for favors, just not like, can you pick me up a coffee favors, unwanted deliberate touching, leaning over, cornering, or pinching, unwanted looks or gestures, unwanted letters, telephone calls, or materials of a sexual nature, unwanted pressure for dates, unwanted sexual teasing, jokes, remarks, or questions. Y'all, I have to say something. I feel like Justin has a case against them with this one. Unwanted sexual teasing. She made jokes about being a ball buster but not using teeth. And then Ryan Reynolds talked about tattooing on his perineum. I think that's where he talked about having someone name tattooed there if Justin could change the date of the end date of It Ends With Us or move it up 2 weeks. Like, I don't know. She described herself as yummy to Justin Baldoni. Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I don't know. I think her and Ryan set the tone for maybe a tone of conversation that she was fine dishing, but not receiving, maybe. I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? But unwanted teasing jokes and remarks or questions, like telling someone you don't use teeth is interesting. Whistling at someone, referring to an adult as a girl, hunk, doll, babe, or honey. That's very interesting to me. That is listed as sexual harassment. There's got to be context, because I know a lot of people that call each other doll, babe, and honey. And whistling, this just seems like, I don't know. Whistling at someone, catcalls, sexual comments, turning work discussions to sexual topics. I think that's tricky in a workplace where you're doing a movie on DV. Like, when you're doing a movie on DV, there's going to be topics like that. Like, there's literally no way around it. Sexual innuendos or stories asking about fantasies, preferences, or history. Again, that might just come up in building a movie that's based on DV. Kissing sounds, howling, smacking lips, some of this, telling lies or spreading rumors about a person's personal sex life, neck massages, touching an employee's clothing, hair, body, giving personal gifts, hanging around a person, hugging, kissing, patting or stroking, touching or rubbing oneself sexually. Oh my God. Standing close or brushing up against a person, looking a person up and down, elevator eyes, staring at someone, sexually suggestive signals, facial expressions, and gestures. A hostile work environment is a work environment created by unwelcome sexual behavior or behavior directed at an employee because of that person's sex that is offensive, hostile, and/or intimidating, and that adversely affects that employee's ability to do his or her job. For example, pervasive, unwanted sexual comments or jokes that continue even though the recipient has indicated that those behaviors are unwelcome. I want to put it to you guys. I want to hear the community's views on this. I want to hear what the community has to say. I really do believe we were in an age where we could believe all women. I really wish we were in an age where you didn't have to question. The thing that I keep coming back to is she kept having people fired that she didn't like on It Ends With Us. We see that in the text messages. We see that in the history. We see that, like, Blake's having issues with so-and-so again. She doesn't seem to be getting along with that person. All of a sudden, that person's fired. She gets told no by someone, and all of a sudden there's these SH, I might as well say it now after everything I've just listed from that, allegations. And then the fact that she did weaponize feminism in terms of saying, like, the pity party around, like, people don't hear me because I'm a woman, and, weaponizing it. She knew her target. She knew that it would get to Justin and probably soften him, and it did. And it wasn't even her that wrote it. It wasn't even her that wrote it after that. So she's proven herself to be manipulative to get what she wants. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe. And what you guys will be getting tomorrow is an astrology report breaking down, like, why are we just obsessed with this in 2025? What shifted? Where, one, celebrities, it just seems to be downfall after downfall after downfall, no matter where you look. All the quote unquote top celebrities are on a downfall right now. But not only that, we are captivated what's going on in the astrology. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. You'll get that one tomorrow. Bye, guys. I'll see you in the next one.